What's going on, guys? Today we'll be talking about Berserk. So I've been reading Berserk since September now, which is like 4 months, I think. I'm currently at like chapter 150, I think, something like that. Um, I do want to warn you guys, this will be more of like a ramble video than like a highly edited, crazy video. I just wanted to get my thoughts across properly, kind of just talk about the stuff I like and why I think Berserk is amazing. So, first of all, I've written some stuff down. So, my first point that I wanted to talk about is characters. So, Berserk has really good characters. You have Guts as kind of like the main protagonist who's kind of like doesn't show much emotion other than like a lot of anger, but there's a lot of stuff behind that. It's not just like, oh, he doesn't have emotion. No, he really does, but he's just, not gonna show that to just anyone. And then you got Griffith, whose dynamic with Guts I think is just amazing. Their whole I mean, it's not even a rivalry. I mean, it is, but for Guts to Griffith, it's just pure hatred now after the eclipse. I think their rivalry is great, and yeah, Griffith is actually still my favorite character. I have like a huge love for like really well written antagonists. So I know he's done messed up stuff and I'm not like, whoa, like I support it, like good job. But I'm like I love the fact that like a dark antagonist is plaguing Guts. I will tell you guys about my top 5 characters actually, so we could talk about more of the characters in the story. So as I said, like Griffith is number one, and then Guts is number two, and at three is kind of tricky because I'd either put Puck there or Farnese because she's really growing on me with where I'm at right now in the story. I'm on the what arc is it? I don't think it's the coalition arc. I think it's the conviction. Yeah, I'm on the conviction arc. So yeah, Puck or Farnese, either three or four, they're like really growing on me. And then I have Casca at five. She's really awesome, but she's kind of like well, she's really interesting right now in the story. She doesn't really like talk. They're actually looking for her. She's got like abducted by a bunch of people where I'm at right now. But yeah, I love Casca too. So that's probably my top five, I'd say. Um, but yeah, I talked about the dynamic that I really love. Um, I really like how Berserk does a good job of, introducing the characters. Like as I said, Farnese is really piquing my interest. They're putting a lot of focus on her and the whole like monastery and the holy see, just everything really good. Um, I also really like the characters from the past, from like Golden Age. Unfortunately, all of them except Rickard, you know, died. I really like Jado. Um, what was that big guy's name? He didn't really talk much, but I also really liked him. He was just kind of cool. There's that one guy. I'm forgetting the names because I feel like it's been a while. The one guy that I like didn't like trust Guts that much. I liked him. He was funny. But yeah, not Guts. Berserk just has great characters, and I can't wait to see more of them. I've seen the little girl with the witch hat, like from art, but I haven't like met her in the story yet. But she looks really cool, and I wonder if she has like some cool magic powers. I feel like that would be really cool. Also, apart from like a main cast, I just really like the way the characters are in Berserk. Like you got like elves, and then you got like the demon thingies. Uh, you got like Zod and the what is it, Skull Knight or whatever. Just really really cool stuff. I like how I like stories where the characters aren't just all human. I really like the diversity, and I just like medieval fantasy stuff in general. Next point that I have written down is world building. So Berserk has really good world building, but it's kind of like a what do you call it? They don't like spoon feed it to you, or they do. I don't know the term actually. Drip feed? what I'm trying to say is they don't like just throw it all at you all at once. Like this is the world. You got four nations or whatever. No, Berserk is kind of like, oh, like this is Windham, and like this is where most of like Golden Age takes place. But now I'm kind of figuring out like, oh, they're giving me a little bit more because we got the like the region to the east like invading. So I don't know if we'll ever like end up there, but like we're definitely like slowly getting more. And I really like that. You know, it leaves a little bit like open to interpretation. I don't know if they're ever gonna like reveal a full like map or whatever. But I really like it. Really like the drip feed, I think they would call it. I hope at some point I get to see like a land of the elves. I feel like that would be really cool. I really like the elves. I know we had that pretend elf thing during the Lost Children arc, but I really want to see like a real elven like civilization just all living there. Maybe there's even like some huge ones. I don't know. I feel like that'd be really cool. Next point that I have written down is power system. So Berserk is kind of like a manga. I'm reading the manga, by the way. I don't know. I mentioned that, right? Yeah. You gotta read the manga. So the power system is kind of like there, but like it's kind of not. It's like a little bit cryptic, and I like it. It works well for Berserk, but there's not like an established like I don't know nen or stance. It's kind of just there. Like you got the demons who can do all kinds of crazy stuff, and then yeah, Guts kind of has this like dark wolf thing in him. I haven't really gotten the full experience of that yet. I know at some point like he wears like the black armor or whatever, but I just haven't gotten to it, so I don't really know much about it. And yeah, I know like Griffith is like he's like chosen. Yeah, he probably has some crazy powers now, I bet. But again, he hasn't shown up after the eclipse. He had that one scene with like Sod, I think, where he like took his horn, but just haven't seen much of that. And then I really like Puck's powers. He's just kind of like the healer of the group. I think his dynamic with Guts in general is just awesome. Like, I like the. I was reading yesterday, and I think Rickard like said to Puck, if I remember correctly, he was like, "Yo, like these past 2 years, you helped keep Guts the way he is," and that really struck a chord with me. I was like, you know what, he really did. Like, even if Guts pretends like, oh, like Puck, you're fucking annoying, like go away. Deep down, he really likes Puck, and he really cares about him, and I really love that. But yeah, I really like his powers, all the demon powers. And as I said before, I hope we get to see like some cool magic in the future, just some really cool stuff. Next up that I've written down is story progression. I think Berserk really does story progression well. It takes its time. It's not rushing like a Chainsaw Man. It just kind of slowly, tells everything. Sometimes it uses a lot of text, which is fine because, you really want all the information to come across. I think the way the story started off, where you have Guts as the Black Swordsman, and, you kind of get introduced to him, you get introduced to Puck, and you're kind of like, this is cool. And then, the crazy stuff happens with the God Hand, and then you get into the Golden Age, like, flashback, and you're like, ooh, this is even better. And then slowly, they start climbing the ranks with Griffith, and you're really enjoying all of that. It's not going fast. It's not going slow either. It's just going at a nice pace. And then, shit starts hitting the fan. The eclipse happens. And then everything kind of explodes. And then you kind of, where I am right now, you kind of start picking up the pieces again. Guts is kind of like himself again, I guess, as much as he can be. Things are getting established again. I think as soon as he can save Casca, or, I hope he saves her, I think things will start to, be happy again. I think they're never going to be happy, to be honest, but I think it's going to definitely get better for him. So yeah, I think the story progression is great in Berserk. I still have like what, like 200 plus chapters to go through. I'm just really excited about it. I think it's really gonna be great. Maybe it'll get even better than it is right now, which I would find crazy because I already think this is like 10 out of 10 greatness. So next up, what I've written down is just graphic. It's kind of to talk about the graphic scenes in Berserk, because I know a lot of people on like TikTok and Twitter, they'll write Berserk off like it's just this like like stupid manga with just all these awful things that no one should read. But there's so much more to it. Like it's really, you can't call Berserk just like out like that. Like it doesn't work like that. Berserk isn't really like that. You know, Berserk obviously has some like really graphic things and awful things happen, but like the story establishes it in a way where like, oh, like these are the bad guys doing it. Like we are not condoning this. Guts is actively fighting against these things. So for people to say stuff like that, it really makes no sense, and it just goes to show you that they've never actually tried to read Berserk, and they're just judging off of like random images or random stuff they saw. I think the graphic scenes of Berserk are great because like it really shows that pure like darkness in the enemy's like mind and stuff, and like the way Guts defeats them makes it even better in my opinion. I don't know. I think the graphic part of Berserk is great. I think without it, it wouldn't hit as hard. It just really hits with all the graphic stuff. Next up, I have art. This is actually my last point I wanted to talk about. So, as you guys know, Berserk is famous for its art, basically. Reading Berserk is like, you have like movie quality, um, like animation, I guess, but it's not animated, obviously. But it's like on paper. It's like something movie quality that like millions went to is in your face on paper, and it's drawn by just one guy, and I guess his assistants if they helped or not. I don't know. But it's just crazy. Like I can't believe the art is real. Even in the beginning, I already thought the art was crazy, which came out in like what, the 80s or something. And over time, the art just keeps getting better and better. And I know Miura isn't with us anymore, but I've even seen some of the art that like Studio Gaga, I think it's called, has done, and I think it all looks great. I saw like a Griffith panel, and you know they did a really good job copying his art style, and it almost looks identical to me. Um, yeah, I think they're doing a really good job, and this is also why I feel like you should read Berserk and never watch the anime. I know the animes aren't really exactly faithful. I know the 90s version is okay, but I'm pretty sure it also skips out on some stuff. And then the, what is it, 2016 version, I think? It's just like a CGI mess. I might end up watching some of it at some point. I haven't watched either, I've just been reading. But I don't think any of it is gonna compare to the just insanely good art that you're gonna get while reading the manga. So yeah, that's about all I wanted to talk about when it comes to Berserk. I'm gonna keep reading. I don't know when I'll be done. I'm not that fast of a reader, but I've still been reading at a pretty good pace, I feel like. Um, I do post about it on my Twitter, so if you want to see my Berserk post, you know, make sure to follow my Twitter, and we can interact and talk about it on there. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.